So I'll create a new CSS file, maybe 4.html, and I'll open the 4.html, and I will make one div like this. Okay, and now I will give first border only to see how it looks. So this is my hello world. Let me give width and height. Width of, for example, let's open the CSS panel, and then we'll give the width and height. Okay, let's give the width of 300 pixel and height of 200 pixel. So my div tag is like this, and now I can give the padding and margin, which we started yesterday, but there is something pending on the padding and margin. I can give padding same for all, that is I can give, let's say, 25 pixel of padding, same for all. So you will see the padding is 25 pixel, and here you will see the code 25 pixel. Or I can change it. I can say right should be 20 pixel, bottom should be 15 pixel, left should be 10 pixel, and then apply. Once I apply, it will say padding top, padding right, padding bottom, and padding left. Similarly, for margin, I can either say directly as a 15 pixel for all the sides. So it will create a code margin 15 pixel, or I can say different padding. Let's say right should be 5 pixel, bottom should be 10 pixel, left should be 25 pixel. Once I apply, you will see code is generated with margin top, margin right, margin bottom, and margin left. Similarly, padding is also created with top, right, bottom, and left. If I want to give padding to all the top, right, bottom, left with the same amount, I will only put padding. I will remove all this top, right, bottom, left. I will remove it, and I will only create with padding. I can also create the padding in one line. So if I say padding, I can define what is the top padding I want. Let's say top padding I want, I will say 25 pixel. Then I'll give space. Then here I will say what is the right padding I want. I will say 20 pixel. So right padding is 20 pixel. Then I will give space. I will say what is the bottom padding I want. 15 pixel. I will put 15 pixel as a bottom padding. And what is the left padding I want? Let's say 10 pixel. So with this way, I can define all the padding top, right, bottom, and left padding in one line. So this is the short code for the padding, where we define all the 4 paddings in one line. So this goes like a clockwise. This is 12 position. This is 3 position. This is 6 position. This is 9 position. That means this is the top, this is the right, this is the bottom, and this is left padding. So either I can say only 25 pixel, where all the sides will be 25 pixel. And if I say top 25 pixel, right 20 pixel, bottom 15 pixel, left 10 pixel, and I can define all the 4 sides here. If I put like this, padding 25 pixel, 20 pixel, and 15 pixel, 3 different values. Here we have 4 different values, so we can say this is top, this is right side, this is bottom, this is left. But what if we have only 3 values? If we have 3 values, that means top is this 25 pixel, Left and right are with 20 pixel and bottom is 15 pixel. So either I can also give three values. When I say three values, that means it is saying top, right and left and bottom. This one is the bottom, this one is right and left, this one is top. If I give four values, I can say this is top, right, bottom and left, like a clockwise. Let's see what if we have only two values. If we have two values like 25 pixel and 20 pixel, so it means top and bottom are 25 pixel, whereas right and left are 20 pixel. So we can define either two values or three values or four values, or we can define one value that will be adding to all the sides. So if I say 25 pixel, that means padding to all the sides. The same thing goes with the margin. I can give margin top, right, bottom, left, top, right and left, bottom, top and bottom, right and left, all sides. Similarly for margin. So this holds for both the cases. Let me write down in the notes. So I put these are the things I will put in the chat also if you want to copy and grab it. So now we are done with the padding and margin. Let's remove it. Let's try to do now the border. So right now I'll remove the border and then I'll add it. So let's go to this class and then edit it. So in the edit there is a border. So border has three parameters. One is called style, one is called width and one is called color. And it is for also all the sides of the div tag. So for example, if I say style, I can choose any of the style. One is dotted, dash, solid, double, groove, ridge, inside, outside. So you can try to put all the style and see how it looks so that you will get an idea. And then when you do the project, you will know which one to do. Let's say I put dotted. I will apply. So you will see that dotted border is created here. And here we have the code which is created that is called border top style. I can say border right style. I can say border bottom style. I can say border left style. I can also say border style. If I say border style, that means it will be applied to all at one time. If I'm saying different border top style is dotted. Maybe I can give different styles. Let's reduce the size to height of 100 pixels so we can see the complete box. And now I will go to the border. In the top I will give dotted. In the bottom right I will give dash. In the bottom I'll give solid. In the left I will give double. And I'll apply. So you will see top is dotted, dash, solid and double. So here in the code also you can see border top style, border right style, border bottom style, border left style. So we gave different styles to different site. We can also specify the width. I can say, let's say top should be thin, right should be medium, bottom should be thick, and left I will define some value, for example 10 pixel, and I will apply. So left will be 10, bottom is thick, right side is medium and top is thin. And if you see the code, it is saying border top width, border right width, border bottom width, border left width. So we can apply to all the sides, the width also. Let's try to put now color. So color also we can give different color to different sides. Let's say I can say blue color top, uh, different color we can give. Whatever color you want to give, just give and click apply. The different color is applied to all the borders. And if you see the code, it is saying border top color, border right color, border bottom color, and border left color. So this style of the code should be written only when you have different styles or different width to each side. If we have common style and common color and common width, then we write it in the one line of code. I will show you. That will be like so. This is used generally when we have different styles on top, left, right, and bottom. But let's say if you want to give top, right, left, bottom to be same, then you can create one line of the code like this border. Then I can say pixel, how much I want. I say 2 pixel, space, solid. I will give the type solid, double, dotted. Let's say I can say double, and I will say color. Color should be, I will say yellow, for example. So all the sides will be like this. Let's make a red color. So let's make the pixel. So we have this double border with 12 pixel, double and red color. So we gave the code in the one line also. And if we have specific different colors, then we have to define it like this. Or I can say instead of top style, I can also say border style, and then it will be applied to all the sides. Similarly, I can say border width, then it will be applied to all the sides. Or I can say border color equal to this one, then it will be applied to all the sides. So this is about the border. Is it clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I gave this in the chat also. I have notes here also, and it is recorded also. You have 3 copies of the border. Let's now move to our JavaScript. So yesterday I showed you that we need to do this, which we did yesterday. We did these 2 parts, and this is pending. We did this part also. We did function and object also. Let's try to do the for loop and while loop. I will create a new file, for.html. Okay, and I will here create a script tag because all the JavaScript comes inside the script tag. In the script tag, I will say I will give some variable called as total count, for example, and I'll say 10. Or forget about total count. We are doing the for loop. For loop means it will go one by one. It will go one by one from starting point to ending point, incrementing at each point. So how to write the for loop? The syntax is like this. For, I will write the syntax in the notes. Syntax is like this. For, here I have to say starting position. And then I have to give semicolon. Then I will give space. Then here I will give ending position. And I will go semicolon. Then here I will give the middle position. And then round bracket close. I'll start the curly bracket and I'll end the curly bracket. So this is the syntax. So we have to first say starting position, ending position, and then middle position. So let's try to do this in the practical way. So here I will say for starting position. For example, I will create a variable I which is equal to 0. So what is the starting position? I equal to 0. That means it starts with the variable I which is the value of 0. It starts with the I with the value of 0. So starting value is 0. So I am asking starting value is I equal to 0. And till how long it will go? So this is called ending position. Ending position means till how many times we have to continuously loop. So for example, I will say till I is less than 5. That means it will start with 0 and it will go till I is less than 5. So for example, it will go 0 and then it will go 1, then it will go 2, then it will go 3, then it will go 4, and once it reaches a 5, this condition is not matched because it's saying I should be less than 5. That means when I will become 5, this will fail and it will not go inside. So we will be only able to see till the 4 because here we are mentioning I should be less than 5. So initially I is 0, second time I will become 1, third time I will become 2, fourth time I will become 3, fifth time I will become 4, and then I will become 5. Since I will become 5, this condition will be not satisfied, then it will not print that 5 or it will not go for the 5. So this is the starting condition, this is the ending condition, and we want to show the middle condition. Middle condition is I plus plus. Now what is the meaning of I plus plus? What is the meaning of I plus plus and I minus minus? I plus plus is called increment operator. I minus minus is called decrement operator. So if I say var I equal to 0 and then I say I plus plus, then I'll say now what is the value of I? So you will say I was 0 and I did I plus plus. I plus plus means I is equal to I plus 1. So whatever value of I was there, it will add 1. So I plus plus means I is equal to I plus 1. So since the value of I was 0 and we did I plus plus, that means now the value of I will be changed to what will be the 1. So value will be 1 because initially it was 0. I put I plus plus. So I will be 1 now. If I do again this I plus plus, what will be the value of I? 2. So as soon as the more I put I plus plus, which will become, the number will increase. If I say I minus minus, then the value will decrease by 1. So here I am saying starting is 0, middle ending is I less than 5, middle is I plus plus. That means each time whenever this for loop will run, I will increase by 1. And when it will reaches the 4, that is less than 5, that will be the last time. and once it will say 5, it will not run inside the loop. So I will put the round bracket. I will start the curly bracket. So whatever inside in this curly bracket will run till we have I is less than 5. So I will do console.log of value of I is comma I. So I will see at each time what is the value of I. So let's run this file and then see. Okay, my server is not running. I have to start my server. I'll go to the console panel. So it's saying initially the value of I is 0, value of I is 1, then value of I is 2. So every time the loop runs, so first time I is 0, and so we are getting 0 here. Then I is incremented to 1, that is I plus plus. So second time this loop runs, it is saying value of I is 1. Then again it will do I plus plus. Then it will say value of I is 2. So like this it will run till 4, because we are saying it should be less than 5. Let's do it to 10. So what will be the value of I, maximum value of I here?
9.
9. 9. The reason is it will run less than 10. So the maximum is 9. Now I will make it little difficult. I will start with array. I will create one array, and it has how to start the array. We put the empty rectangular bracket. I will put some elements in the array. I will say my array dot push. Maybe I will say many. The first value in the array is many. I will say my array dot push carry, and I'll say my array dot push 8. So now tell me how many elements are there in this my array?
3.
3. 3. 1, 2, 3. Though the maximum number is 2, because it starts with a 0, 1 and 2, but the total elements are 3. This is first element, second element, 3 elements. So when I ask you how many elements are there, you have to count it and you have to say it is 3. So how to find out using JavaScript? I will say console.log total items in array are my array dot length. If I say length, it will give the total number of elements in the array. So let's see what is coming. It is coming 3. So total items in array are 3. So now if I run some loop, I will say for, since I created I here, I will create here j. I will start with j equal to 0. J is less than, I want to go 3 times, not more than 3 times. So what will be the j less than what? 2 or 3 or 4? 3.
3.
J should be less than 3, because first time it will be 0, second time it will be 1, third time it will be 2, and I will go out of the loop. So it should be less than 3. If I put less than equal to 3, then it will go 4 times, but we have only 3 times. So it should only say less than 3. So that it should go only 3 times. And I'll say j plus plus. And then, so now what is the 3? If tomorrow I add it, I add some more value. For example, my array dot push Nita, for example. Now there are 4. So now I have to change it to what? What should I put it here?
4.
4. So instead of putting 4, I can also take this and put it here. because length will be 4 only. So let's see what is the length. So length is 4. So that means instead of putting 4, I will put my array dot length. In this way, I can be assured that it is 4. Let's say tomorrow if I add more, my array dot push Kavita. So now this will become 5, and here automatically it will become 5 because length is 5 now. So that means I don't have to change this every time when I add something in this array. Now I have to print all these names 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I want to print this name, this will be stored in the variable called as my array, and in the rectangular bracket 0 number. So if I do console.log of my array 0, like this example, then I will see the value of any. If I want to display this carry, what is the value of carry?
1.
My array of 1. What is the value of Kate? My array of 2. What is the value of Nita? My array of 3. What is the value of Kavita? My array of 4. So that means each one is assigned to the some key, that is the 0, and it goes in ascending order. So if I want to do the loop, and if I want to publish the many, carry, Kate, Kavita, Kavita in this ascending order, I will say console.log the name at position. Now what is the position? Position is J. At position J, name at position J is, I want to display at 0th level, I want to display many. So what I will put it here, my array
J.
J. So initially it will be J 0, so it will show many first time. Second time the J will become 1, so it will show carry. Third time it will become 2, so it will show K. Fourth time it will become 3, so it will show Nita. Fifth time it will become 4, so it will show Kavita. If I run this thing, let me delete this part or let it be here. So first time it is showing many. Position 1 is carry, position 2 is Kate, position 3 is Nita, position 4 is Kavita. So that means we are looping through the array and we are displaying each one in array. In a practical case, you will be having hundreds of elements in the array, and then you can loop through all these elements to show everything to the user. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So this is called for loop. Mostly for loop is used with this array. So whenever you have array, you can use the for loop. Let's try to use now the while loop. Okay, while loop we'll do tomorrow because today's time is over for this one. Let me put this in the notes also and in the chat also. JavaScript period is today is for this much time. We'll do tomorrow while loop. Right now you concentrate on the for loop, try to do multiple for loops, practice it multiple times, and we'll do tomorrow the while loop. Let's go to the PHP our part.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So I guess what I don't understand is how to get that, all the information that's in the console, like in the inspect into being used in a website. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how come it's not showing in the actual website part itself. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
So you are saying why we are seeing in the console the user will be seeing here and we are seeing here, so it is not used by the user,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So generally this console.log is only for our purpose. It is only for
Okay.
to understand what's happening in the JavaScript code. In real sense, it will be not like that. I will show you the real example, how it will be.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, so let's say this is a JavaScript one website. It's completely built in the Angular. I showed you horse matching one. So here I'll put some details. For example, sorry, Mumbai, and I will put here 6 5 1974 12 30, and I'll click submit. So once I added it, you will see this profile is added. This is first time. Let's add another one. So I will put the Kate's detail. Kate's, what is your birthplace?
China,
China, where city? Which city?
Shenyang.
Can you type it?
Yeah.
Can you chat
uh,
in chat?
Oh,
Put it
yes,
in chat.
I can type it.
Okay, Xiang. Let me see if Xiang is there. SHENY. Okay,
Yeah,
this is correct.
Yeah, correct. Oh,
Okay, what is your birthday?
22nd,
22nd month.
February,
Year.
1986.
Okay, and hour. You remember the hour?
Generally maybe 6 p.m.
6 p.m. That is
Yeah.
8 minute. 0
No,
Okay.
zero, just after zero.
Okay. So now you will see two are coming. So how two are coming? It is a kind of for loop. We are using for loop. So though console.log, initially when I was building this, I built using the for loop and I was able to see in the console.log that information is coming correctly this. But when I want to implement it to the user, I put it in some variable which I displayed here. So this is the practical case of the for loop. Got it? Let's put one more, Carrie. Can you put all details in the chat, Carrie?
Yes. Hold on. Let me put it in.
Yeah, put first your birthplace, day, month, year. This is correct, first line.
Yeah. Silver Spring. Sorry.
Which state? It is MD, PA, NV,
Maryland. MD.
MD. Okay. Put date, day. '23, 3, 1970, an hour, 9 a.m. and minute. Remember the minute?
No.
Okay, let's put it. So now, so practically you will see this is also the for loop kind of thing. You know, I am using for loop kind of thing and I'm displaying each one here. So practically you will display it somehow like this, and practically you will display somehow like this. But before you show this to the user, you want to know whether this is coming or not. At that time, you will use the console.log. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. I will show you the code also, this is looping, but I need to find out. It's too deep in the code. I have written so much code. I don't know if I would be able to find it. Let's see if I can find it. See, I have all the version of Dreamweaver. This is 8 version. This is CS4. This is CS5. This is the latest one, 2017. I put install all the version of Dreamweaver. Okay, let me see if I can find the same one which you see here. Let's find the same code in. I have so big code base. It's very not easy to find auto matching. U1. This is written in Angular 1.5. At that time, I created this one. So, okay. So initially, I created some array, and Angular, we can repeat it on the HTML using the ng repeat, and it is repeating this all profiles, and we are looping it. ng repeat is kind of for loop, and it is going down. So before I go into the HTML template and display kind of this information, I might have done it in the console.log. I might have done it here in the console.log. So see, initially this data came and I saved it into the all profiles. So before even going to the HTML part, I might have written like this. Console.log of all profiles. So I might have pasted this like this, and then once I satisfied with the results, I might have used it in this view.html. Got it?
Lord, I mean, I understand what you're saying. You guys have to
You don't understand?
try it. Well, so you did it all in the console.log for testing, and then once the testing was done, you changed it to be in the HTML.
Yeah, I put it in the HTML like this, using this. This is a variable all profiles. This is a variable all profiles, which I created here in the JavaScript. And when I was building this all profiles, I might have tested it like this console.log. My profiles are, and then I have run the page, and once I was satisfied with this, I might have put it in the HTML. So what you repeated was correct. So let's go to the console.log. I will show you if it comes. Okay, let me refresh the page. Okay, maybe this site is taking different different URL. This my local is not pointed to same where it is this one.
Okay.
I was just showing you this how I was testing it, and then I used it in the HTML.
So can you, is there a way to see in the HTML and the console log at the same time?
Putting in the HTML is little, we can put it, but since it is an array, so you will need some little extra work to see it in the HTML, and all things cannot be in the HTML. Few things you can see in the HTML. So when developers work, they don't see in the HTML, they try to work in the console.log only. The one which I am showing you, like this only. If you are able to see this, that means you are a kind of developer who is building correctly. So generally, I haven't seen any developer who, while testing, display this part in this browser here. But if you are really keen to see that, I will show you how to do that. But don't do that, but you should learn how to do that. You should know how to do that, but we don't do it. Okay, so let's see. So if you want to do you want to show it here, then you have to put this script tag in the body, because whatever is the head tag will not be displayed in the body. Okay, now you have written console.log, you will also write document.write. When you write document.write, it will print here in this white space. And you copy paste everything here. And document.write will not take the comma, so you have to use plus sign. So now, if you refresh the page, you will see console.log also. You will see on the browser also. See, it's coming here. So if it should come in the new line, you have to say /n. Let's try /n, or we will try br. Sometimes /n doesn't work, so we have to use, okay, /n is not working, let's use br tag. So we have here. We are able to print here also and here also. So in practical world, this script tag generally lies in the head tag. So people don't try to put document.write. Let's see if it comes. Sometimes, document.write, even if I put in the head, it's coming true. Previously, when I was learning at that time, maybe it was old, they were not able to display it in the head. Maybe now they have improved it or somehow, or I might not remember, but nobody generally taste it on the document.write. But if you really are keen to it, you can use this. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay, but don't do it because no developer does. All developers are used to do testing here. Right? It's unnecessary. We are working for document also, console also. So it's a time consuming step. Okay, let's move to our PHP part. Yesterday I showed you that we are done with 2 ways to insert. We are done with browsing. We are done with pagination. We are done with record showing, that is navigation of pagination. Today we'll do edit and maybe delete. Okay, let's go to our file. Let's say I go to browse1.php. This is my browse. I don't want to go browse1. Let's go to browse2. Browse1 is we can work later. So let's open this page in the browser and then we'll see how to edit it. So we have the buy, gigs, jobs, and personal and save. Or here sorting is 5, 6, 1, 2, 4, 3. Tomorrow I feel that I have by mistake instead of services, my services, I have put services. So I need to edit this record. So we should know which record I want to edit, whether I want to edit this part or I want to edit second row, I want to edit third row. At one time, we can edit only one row. So you need to understand which row you want to edit it. So here in the last column, insert column right, I will put edit link. That means I want to edit this row. I will put one more column which I will use for delete later on. So here I will click edit link kind of thing. Now I'll refresh the page. Okay, let's make this table little bit smaller. I don't need so much bigger. Let's make it 50%. So you will see there is an edit link here. Edit is there. So if I want to edit this jobs part, I will click edit here. If I want to click edit this personals, I will edit here and I will be able to edit personals. So I will create one edit page. I will create a new page called as edit1.php. Whenever I want to edit this record, I will send the user to this edit1.php. Here I will say edit my record, for example. Now edit can also be done in two ways as we do insert. You remember we did insert in two ways. One was form was created by the Dreamweaver and one was form we created and then we inserted it. Similarly, edit can be done in two ways. One is Dreamweaver automatically create the form. Other is we have to create the form, because edit means we have to edit the form. Let's edit the form. Let's create this edit form here, and then we will be able to send user from this page to edit page, and then we can update the record. So how to do this? So first step in the edit, I will write on the steps. First step in the edit. Step 1. Create a new page called as edit1.php. You can name it anything. Then what is the second step? Create a record set for particular record. What it means? So we when we are in the edit page, we have to first aim is we have to create a record set, which we do when we create a browse page. So we will go here in the server behavior and create a record set, and I will name it as rs edit, something, anything. This name is up to you. Whatever you want, you can put, but no spaces, remember. I will choose the connection and I will choose the table, which table I want to edit it. Now, I told you I can edit one record at a time, either this record or this record or this record or this record. So for each record, we pass the ID that to another page. That means edit the record with ID 5, or edit the record with ID 6, or edit the record with ID 1, or edit the record with ID 3. So in the filter tab, you have to choose the ID. Yesterday we choose the category because we were doing search, but when we do edit, we always choose the ID, and we have to choose the URL parameter with ID. That means we will be passing in the URL, we will be passing ID equal to 1 or 5 or 6 or 1 or 2 or 4 or 3. So if I pass ID equal to 5, I will be able to edit this first record. If I pass ID equal to 6, that means I am going to edit the second record. So to know which ID I am editing it, I want to choose that ID. So I will say ID equal to URL parameter ID, and then I'll click OK. So this is the first step. We created a record set. Second step maybe. The first step is create a edit one page. Second step is create a record set for particular record or particular ID. Third step, create a edit form and apply PHP code. So how to create a form? Either you can create a form manually or we will insert with Dreamweaver. I will go to the application object and I will click update record. In the update record, if you have already created a form, then you can choose the second method called as update record. But since we haven't created a form, we will choose the first method, that is the record update form wizard. In the record update form wizard, I will choose the connection. I will choose the table which I want to edit. I want to choose the record set which I created here on this side, right side, RS edit. So I want to choose this record set. And I want to choose the primary column. So generally all our tables have the primary column of ID, which is auto increment. So I choose this column ID. And then I have to choose which fields I want to edit it. Generally the ID field we don't edit it, so I will remove that. And I will choose the category and I will choose the sorting. So these two fields I can edit it. So I choose these two fields. Now when I select category, this automatically this default value gets changed. When I say sorting, this default value gets changed. So don't worry about what is this default value now. But in the end, after a few days, I will explain you what is the meaning of this one. Now, after the edit is done, where you want to go? So after the user has edited the form, I want to go to this page. What is this page? This is browse to.php. So I will choose here in the basics, I will choose the browse to.php. So I choose the browse to.php and I click OK. So once I click OK, the table will be created in the center. I will click the table and I will align it to the default so that it should be the left align. And I will make this top part bold. Okay, so what was the next step? We created the form and we applied the PHP code. So this, when we created this form, PHP code was automatically applied by the Dreamweaver. We don't have to do anything. So these are the 3 steps we did, and that's it. Now let's recheck it. So we need to send user to this page. When user clicks this edit button, we need to send the user to this page with the ID parameter. So for example, if he is in the row 6, we have to send 6 number. If it is in the row 1, this one, jobs row, we have to send 1 parameter to the next edit page. So how to do that? Here I will create a link. In the link I will say go to edit one page. So here I am saying edit one page and I am putting some code. I will say question mark ID equal to, and here I have to pass dynamic ID. I cannot give 5, 6 or 1, because if user click first row, he should be getting 5 ID. If user click second row, he should be getting 6 ID. So it should be dynamic, not like I should put hardcodedly 5 or 4. It will not work. So just now I will not put anything. I will just say edit one.php with ID equal to empty. Then I'll go to the code view. In the code view, I will copy this first line, that is ID part, and I will put this ID part here in the equal sign. So ID will automatically take in from this dynamic field which is coming from database. So I took this first row, I copied it and I pasted it here. So this means when user is in the first row, the ID will go 5. When user in the second row, ID will go as 6. Let's test this part. I will refresh the page. So if I mouse over the first one, you see here, when I mouse over, what are you seeing? ID equal to what?
5,
5. If I go here, what are you seeing? ID equal to
1,
1. So automatically ID is coming. If I'm moving the mouse, what is coming in the ID field?
4.
4. Let's click this one. When I click this, you will see sale is automatically entered in the category and sorting is automatically here. Let's say if I want to change from sale to sales, and I'll click update record. So here you will see sale is changed to sales. Let's click this personal one. I click edit. I want to change from personals to personal. Update record. You will see it is updated. If I click first one, I want buy to buys, for example. Just I'm doing wrong thing. Let's say I go here. I want to change from gigs to gig. It is first time it is little complicated, but it is very simple. Once you will do it, it is very simple. But first time you have to remember 3-4 steps. So you will feel little difficult, but when you do many things, many forms, it will be very easy for you. Is there anything which you did not understand in the edit part? These are the 3 steps. Which step you feel little difficult?
I think with some practice, it will be okay.
Practice will be okay. Okay. I will do one more form for you so that you should get little more idea again and see how I am doing. In 2 minutes, I created edit form and it is done. Not more than 2 minutes I take to create this edit form. So building any website will be very fast once you master these steps. So let me do one more so that you can get the idea. Then when you watch the video, you will do it 3-4 times, then you will be also feeling same way as I am feeling. I have done 200 websites using this kind of features. So I have mastery, and you haven't done anything, so you will feel little complex. Once you do 100 websites using this, you will be feeling completely normal like I do. So let's try to do browse one. I will go to the browse one. I will add column on the right side, and I will say edit. We will be doing delete also, so I will click one more column called as delete. Here I will give edit link, and here I will give delete link. So for this browse one, I have to create another page. So I will name it as browse one edit.php. That means it should go to this page. Then I click edit. Browse one edit page. So I will check which table I am editing in the browse one. I am using the first table. So here I should be able to edit the first table. So first step is create the record set. First step is to create the page which I created already, browse one edit.php. Now second step is to create the record set. So I will create the record set and I will name it anything. Since I am doing edit, I prefer to do edit rs edit. So I have to do I have to choose the table. Why it's not coming? Why connection is not there? Okay, let's try to open it again. Okay, maybe it was some problem. So here I will say rs edit, and then I will say connection, and then I will choose the first table because in the browse one we were using first table, and here I will choose the user ID equal to URL parameter user ID, and then I'll click OK. So we have to choose this primary key. So in this table we have primary key of user ID. In the last time we did ID because the primary key was ID. Here I have to choose the user ID. I'll click OK. So first step is done, or two steps are done. I created the page, I created the record set. Now I will create the edit form and PHP code directly here. So I will go to insert, go to application object, update record, record update form wizard. Here I will choose the connection. Here I will choose which table to update. So I want to update first table. Which record set I have to take, that is rs edit. Which is the key column, that is a primary key, that is called user ID. After the user has filled the form, where should I go? I should go to browse1.php, and here I have to choose which field I want to update it. I don't want to update user ID, I will delete it. First name I want to update, last name I want to update, email I want to update, password I want to update. Password should be password field, so I will change the password field. Date of birth I want to update, gender I want to update. I can change the menu to, I can change the text field to menu or whatever I want. But right now I'm just showing you the edit one, so I will keep it text field only. But in practical field, you have to make it same which you did in the insert one. So this form should be similar to what you did in the insert one. I will do that maybe tomorrow. Just now I'm showing you how to do the edit one. Marital status we did select box, but here I will do only text field. Created on, I don't need it. Access level, I don't need it. So these are the fields which I want to edit it. I will click OK. So I will click the table, make it default so that it should align left side. I will save it and I'll go to the browse one page. I will click the edit link, edit part, and here I will link to browse1 edit. Since browse1 edit wants the user ID in the form of user underscore ID, I will create user underscore ID equal to. Then I will go to the code view. Now I have to put the user ID here. If we see the previous one, I have ID column here which I copied it and pasted here. But here I don't have user ID field in the first one. So what I'll do, I'll go to the binding panel. And I'll create this, click this plus sign in the record set. And I'll drag this user ID to here. So you will automatically get the user ID. Is it clear this step? We have to pass user ID. Since user ID is not there in anywhere here, so I open the binding panel and I drag the user ID here because we have to pass user ID to the edit page. Is this step clear?
Yes.
Okay. Even if it is not clear, if you do multiple times, it will become clear. So now I will go here as a browse1.php. Sorry, where is the browse1? It's a browse1.php, right? Okay, we don't have any record. I have deleted all the records. So let's go and insert some record. I will say here, don't put your real password. Always try to put wrong password because this is a dummy site. You know what happens? One time I created such kind of website and I gave the link to my friend. I said, okay, just fill this form. This is my website. Just experiment it. He put his real password like Kerry did on that day. And then it went to the database and I was able to see that. But he was not knowing that I was able to see that. And I went to his Gmail or Yahoo account. I was able to enter it because he put all the real password. So whenever someone asks you to put the password, try to put some dummy password which you don't use normally. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. If you see it's a big website like Yahoo or Google, then you can put your real password. But if your friend says or I say anything, don't put it because we are making it, right? So if we are making it, we don't put encryption to the password because we are not putting it in the live website. I'm just putting some dummy data so that I can show you edit thing. Okay. So now I'll go to browse1. So we have two records. Let's say tomorrow I want to edit the first record, Kerry record. I will click the edit button. See, once I click edit button, it is going user ID equal to 2 in the URL and all the details are already pre-filled. Generally password field, why password field is not filled? Because I made it password. I made it as a password, but it did not fill up. If we want it to be pre-filled, generally it cannot be pre-filled because always the password we have to encrypt it. So we cannot decrypt it. So that's the reason we don't put the password. Let user put the password again. Or we should not give him the option to password. We can delete the password like this. So we don't want him to edit the password here. So I will delete it. Once I delete it, I need to, since I deleted it, can you see this exclamation? Can you see exclamation? Yeah. Because I deleted something and this record set server behavior does not know what I deleted it, so we need to fix it. So I will double click it and I will say password will not get. So it's saying password will get the value from form.password and we don't have form.password. So we will say none. Since we don't have password, and I will click OK. Once I click OK, now 2 exclamation are coming. That means something is still wrong. So, sometimes this comes and I close this page and I reopen it. So once I reopen it, you will see that exclamation is gone. So let me refresh this page. Okay, why this is coming like this? Something is wrong. Okay, by mistake, this code is come. Okay, now I will edit. Maybe I can say from 70 to 71 and I'll update the record. So you will see here it is updated. Let's say I'll go here and I will say, for example, just I'm going for experimenting, it's saying female, or I will change it to male and it says male. So you can go here, you can edit the form, you click update, it will go back to all users. Second time, is it more clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need more practice.
Yeah, practice is needed.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I see there's more things to. There are a couple additional things that happen.
Right. And when we do in the practical world, we will make a website. So you may see more experiences, more things will come up, and you will feel little. Oh, we did not learn this in the basics. I cannot show everything in the basics. I will show only the basics, the normal path. But when we go with the live website, we need to do some more changes, which I will teach you when we will build some couple of websites. Okay, so then it will be more clear. Right now, only you try to understand what I'm showing you. At least if you do this part, that means we can go directly to the live website, and I will be pretty confident that you can do that. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, now yesterday, so today's course is done. Yesterday I gave you 2 ideas. Now, do you have any your idea? These 2 were my ideas. What, any your idea? Anyone has some new idea which you want to share?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, I will give you one more idea, which I have many ideas. I sleep in the night and I create some ideas. So I will give one more idea which we will build. So this is called Remedy Finder. What is Remedy Finder? So this website will be like this. Let's say Carrie will come on my website. She has, for example, headache, a very chronic headache since maybe since 10 years. And she took one treatment of acupuncture, for example, and she got relieved, and she's no more having any headache, no more headache. So she will be excited. Oh, my headache gone with acupuncture. It's so good. She will be excited. Okay. So now she will come to the website and she will choose disease name. For example, she will say disease headache, and she will choose a treatment. What treatment she did? There are many treatment. Like it will be drop down. Allopathy will be there. Ayurvedic will be there. Then acupuncture will be there, and there will be homeopathy will be there. There will be Reiki will be there. Magnet therapy. All therapy, we will list all the therapies, whatever is available in the market. Though US people don't believe in most of the therapies, they believe only in this allopathy. But let's say there are few people who believe in all other things. So she will choose a treatment, and then she will say what treatment she did. What treatment she did. Let's say she will say needles were put in forehead one in hand, one in leg. Just she will describe whatever she did it. And she will say rating. She will give rating to this treatment. Maybe she will say plus 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 5 rating, 5 out of 5 that she got cured. If you don't get cured, you can put 1 rating that it is a bad treatment. I did not get any benefit, something like that. So she will put rating kind of this, and she will submit it. And then Kate will come on the website. She is also having headache. So she will see, oh, who are the other people in my website who got headache? So she will see Carrie. Oh, Carrie got headache, and she's saying she got cured. Rating is 5. That means she got cured. So she will go. Kate will go on this website and see what she did, and then Kate will like it, and Kate will then try to find some acupuncturist near her area to do the same kind of treatment. So this way, people will get helpful. Let's say 10 people are coming with a headache. Some will say they got cured with Ayurvedic. Some will say they will got cured with Reiki. Some will say allopathy. And if allopathy, what treatment, what medicine you took, just you will give the information, and other people will take and they will follow if they like it. And there will be commenting here. So Kate will comment, really you got cured? And if Carrie has time, she will reply, yes, I got cured. It is truth. It is fact. And she will just describe something on it. This is kind of third website which I am interested in building kind of thing. I don't get time to build all these things, but when I will teach you, at that time I have time to show you. So I will build all these websites in front of you. Okay. So I have many other ideas which I will give you tomorrow. Every day I will give you one idea. And once we are done with basics, we will start doing all these ideas. And we will publish it. And it will be a real live website. And the money which we will be getting it, we will not charge anything on this website. We will be putting advertisements like Facebook is doing. So if our website goes good, we will get good advertisement, and advertisement will be paid. Something like that. Got it? So if you have any idea, just share with me. Otherwise, I will share. I have many more ideas which I will put one by one below it. And once we start our project, we will do all these ideas.
How long did it take you to do like one of those ideas? Like a day? Or did it take like a week?
Okay, so when I did 200 to 300 projects long back when I was learning PhD with this Dreamweaver way. If we do with Dreamweaver way, I used to do 20 websites in a week time, because I was sitting whole day just doing and doing and doing and doing. So 20 websites I was doing in a week kind of thing. So, but when I will teach you, and my knowledge has increased more. At that time, I was having limited knowledge. So I was not putting more functionalities in it. Now my knowledge has increased. So there will be little more time, but we will try to complete all the projects which I mentioned here, because I really need to build it. I don't get time. Outside this teaching, I don't have really time to build the website. I have to do my company's work. I have to do other things. But now when I will teach you, I will build it at that time, and you will watch it, and you will get also good experience how to build a website.